Hey guys, my name is Peter Ferguson. I'm a realtor with Compass Real Estate in Washington, D.C. I make these videos driving around Washington, D.C., different neighborhoods, so that you might learn a little bit more about what neighborhoods could work best for you. I hope you find these helpful. Today, I'm going to drive around one of my favorite neighborhoods, a super family-friendly neighborhood, really comfortable, historically amazing. We're going to drive around Georgetown. Let's go take a look. All right, so here we are. We're actually going to start off this video in the East Village. If you've been to Georgetown, looked a little bit information about Georgetown, you'll notice that Georgetown is built in two villages, the East Village and the West Village. Wisconsin Avenue goes right down the middle, so anything east of Wisconsin Avenue is the East Village, anything west is the West Village. You probably won't notice too much differences. The West Village, I think, is where the Georgetown University is, so you probably get more students walking around there. But otherwise, they're very similar. To the right here, we have Rose Park. It's one of the big parks in Georgetown. If you're a family, you'll probably spend some time in Rose Park for sure. This street, actually, 26 and P. If you go to the right there, you live in the East Village or in the West Village and want to take a walk and get into DuPont and the busier part of the city, you just have to take a right there on P Street. You just take P Street all the way into DuPont, hop on the metro to do whatever you need to do. But it's that street right there from where you are at Rose Park, you're pretty close to getting into the busy part of the city. This video, I really want to show what your living opportunities are going to be in Georgetown. As we drive through, you're going to see some beautiful single-family homes. You're going to see beautiful row homes. And Georgetown also has a lot of condos as well. And we're going to see some of those as we drive through. As I mentioned, the beautiful single-family homes. East Village, I think, does have some bigger homes. And on the left there, you see that huge home, just super beautiful. Again, you do find big homes in the West Village as well, but I think you see a little more single-family homes in the East Village. You can see these row homes. It's such a amazing, charming neighborhood. I actually love all the colors. Some people don't love painted brick, but as we come up here and you see this row of row homes, I just love the different colors of the row homes. It just, I don't know, adds so much character to the houses and to the neighborhood. We see that all throughout DC, but Georgetown is something special, so it's nice to see it here as well. Now, while people who live in Georgetown, obviously there's no metro in Georgetown. If you're looking for public transportation, you're going to be riding a bus or doing the bike share, but there is no metro. But everything you could possibly want and need, you can actually get in Georgetown. And I always think that people don't move out of Georgetown, they just move to a different part of Georgetown, whether it's starting out in a condo, moving into a row home, and at some point getting a single family home, or getting one row home and getting into a bigger row home. But Georgetown really has everything you could possibly want. It's got parks for families. It's got great shopping area. It's got great restaurants. It's got grocery stores. Um, so it's funny. It's kind of its own little pocket in DC. And but again, you can find everything you could possibly want within the East Village and the West Village. So a little bit of the driving, you'll see there's a glare on my windshield, and I do apologize. Just sometimes the sun hit it a certain way, and gosh, I wish my windshield was cleaner than what it shows. But either way, I do think the picture is okay, but I do apologize for the glare. One thing you'll also notice in this drive is, and this street seems okay, but probably one of the knocks if you don't live in Georgetown, um, people who are visiting Georgetown will always comment on how narrow the streets are. So you'll see throughout the video as you're coming up on a car, there's like a slowdown or a car is kind of maneuvering, and it's not because they're scared drivers. It's because the streets are super narrow. So you just got to be careful. Sometimes you can't drive too fast down these streets. And a lot of these houses do have, there's a lot of houses that have garages and a lot that don't have garages. So one of the tricks in Georgetown is just figuring out good parking. With any place in DC, you get zone parking. So hopefully you can park right in front of your property or just down the street. But sometimes at different times of day or weekend, parking in certain spots of Georgetown can be a challenge. We are on N Street right now, which I think is one of the just great streets in Georgetown. Just some great properties. I love how some of the houses are up on a hill, as you saw just back there. I think, especially in the East Village here, I think they just look really fantastic. You can see how narrow these streets are. Straight ahead, that yellow place was like a restaurant called Martin's Tavern. If you're ever in DC and want to grab a bite to eat in Georgetown, Martin's Tavern is kind of a cool place because it is actually where JFK proposed to Jackie Kennedy, and they have a booth to commemorate the occasion. So it's pretty cool to see that and know that you're eating in a place that was part of history. And when we crossed over Wisconsin Avenue there, and that was, so we are now in the West Village. So you can see the houses aren't really all that different. Again, most days I think you got more walking traffic in the West Village, and I think that's just because the university is in the West Village, and so you have students, both undergrad and grad students, med students, walking around. I think also in the West Village, you'll see more rentals than maybe you see in the East Village. And part of that is just, again, the university is in the West Village, and so investors have taken advantage of being around these students and offering rentals. You see those cones there. That actually, if they weren't there, you could go straight. You would go right into the university. That building on the right there is that pink building. That's a amazing deli breakfast sandwich place called Call Your Mother's, and it's a DC chain. They have one in Georgetown. They have one in Capitol Hill, Petworth, and then in the suburbs in Bethesda and North Bethesda. Definitely a good place to check out. Now I believe we're on 35th Street here, and it's actually a really great street. It's definitely a thoroughfare street, but these houses on the right are just beautiful. It's amazing with some of these properties, and you see actually grass out front. In the city, you just don't see that a whole lot. To the left, as you see the big field, that's actually Georgetown Visitation, which is a all-girls high school, private high school. Washington, D.C. in general is a very old city. It's interesting, D.C. or Georgetown is our oldest neighborhood in Washington, D.C. I believe it was established in the mid to late 1700s. So a lot of these houses actually date back to the 1800s. Obviously, they've been redone, but it's pretty cool when you're in town and you see these homes that are 200 years old. It's just it's amazing. So now we are heading down Wisconsin Avenue, and Wisconsin Avenue is one of our main roads, and that goes into, you go the opposite direction, you're going to head into Maryland, into Bethesda, North Bethesda, and Rockville, which is not far at all. Wisconsin Avenue has a lot of restaurants, has a lot of shops, things for if you're living in Georgetown. Chances are you'll be walking to Wisconsin Avenue to grab coffee, grab groceries, go to the bank. It's just a spot that is important when you live in Georgetown. As you get closer to M Street, you'll see more high-end shops. It's like the closer you are to M Street, you'll get like the Apple store, the Tory Burch store, some higher end retail. And this right here, this stop sign, that's M Street. So that's really the shopping district. We'll circle back. We'll circle back shortly so that you can see that. But that's people who live here or people are visiting. They always want to go down M Street. Now this part we'll look at real quickly here. If you just look straight ahead, you're seeing water, and that is the Potomac River. Georgetown is right on the Potomac River. It's pretty interesting. As you're down by the water, you'll see a lot of people running, a lot of people exercising. If you go to the right, you can hop on the C&O Canal, which will take you into Maryland. If you head to the right, there's actually the Key Bridge. Across the river is actually Arlington, Virginia. So a lot of people in Arlington will walk to Georgetown, and vice versa. It's a lot of people in Georgetown might work in Arlington, and it's just really convenient just to hop over the bridge. Underneath here, under the underpass, there's actually a lot of shops and restaurants. And I wanted to sort of point that out. It doesn't come in too clear, but to the right is really like along the waterfront. And there's a lot of restaurants over there. And during the winter time, there's actually a ice rink. And during the summertime, there's a bunch of restaurants and lots of outdoor eating over there. And here we're coming up to M Street, which again, I've touched on a couple times. That's really our main shopping district here in Georgetown. M Street has a ton of high-end shops and not so high-end shops, just places that if you need to get some knickknacks, need to get some gifts, need to do some personal shopping, M Street is a great spot to be. On the weekends, it can be really busy. Pre-COVID, it was really busy. They're probably a little bit slower now, but it's still just a lot of people. If you're coming to DC and you're looking to do some shopping, chances are you're going to head over to Georgetown and walk down M Street. We're getting toward the end of the video. Please don't forget to subscribe. That'll notify you whenever we do another neighborhood video. Again, we're just driving down M Street here. As we keep going, this actually will take you all the way out of Georgetown, all the way out of DC. You can take one direction, go into Maryland, and you can take another direction, get right into Arlington, Virginia. So Georgetown's really conveniently located for people just outside of Washington, D.C. Thanks again for watching this video. Please, again, subscribe. I really appreciate it. Give a thumbs up, like the video, whatever. Comments would be wonderful. Anything I can do to help you, but thanks again for watching.